Richard Rawlings, Big Chris, Ratarossa,
ZachsGarage,
JackMcNeillCars,
JayEmm,
MatArmstrong,
you and Thomas,
Helenstanleyofficial, Tavarish. Oh! And welcome to Petrolheadonism Live. We are driving into the grounds of Knebworth House. We're slightly hungover, and when I say slightly, I mean we're very hungover because we were celebrating Churro's birthday last night. It was my first time ever in an Evo. We're a little late getting into the show, but I need to be in there. I'm going to be one of the guest judges with so many well-known faces, so let's see what we can see. We got the Shmee150 collection. He's brought like 8 of his vehicles in his own little section. I'm looking for the Cobra because I'm going to park this car with that car. Corvettes are here. There's meant to be Vipers somewhere. Ah, the Max Power section. Fantastic. Oakley dokely. So I'm part in a pretty main section, although the stage is still quite far away. I think I was a little bit closer last year, but here we have the Factory 5 Racing Daytona Coupe that Tech also has brought along, alongside my Dax Cobra. We've got AK, they've brought their demo car, and a few more Cobras down the line. We've got Sierra Cosworths over there. There's, Vipers, so many Vipers. I wonder if they're for sale. So we have Sam Hard on the microphone, and we're meant to be voting for our favourite cars in the elite section, and music's about to start playing. Choice. I don't even know what it is. It's a Honda, it's a van, it's wide arch, it's got Lamborghini style bumper on it, yellow interior as well. We got the works wheels with neons inside the wheel. How about that? He is bringing neons back in his own way. But as good as this section is, I'm heading over to the Dodge Vipers. They've got about 10 Vipers here. Oh, I've only gone and found myself inside a Viper. I really want one. I mean, it's left-hand drive. That's something to get used to, but so is that view in front of you. This, with the Cobra, would look phenomenal. I'm always on the lookout for something obscure. We've got some motorbicycles revving in the background, and this is an incredibly obscure section. Check out the Beetle and the rear tyres. Look at how much they stick out there. We've got the externally mounted radiator. That's a beefy rear end of a classic Volkswagen Beetle. But this event is a 2-day event, and I've spent the whole day just chatting to people, so I'm going to look around, even though not a lot of cars are left, but we have tomorrow still to come. We have Teresa the Yaris. This has been recently re-wrapped. That's the old wrap. That is wrap, not paint, is it? You've done all the doors as well. Yeah. And further around is this wide arch Mazda RX-7. I believe this to be a Rocket Bunny kit. And here is the Evo 6 that I rode in last night. The first ever Evo I've ever been in, and it's for sale. And how is this for a lineup of Cosworths? We've got Escorts, Sierras, and Sapphires. There must be about 15 or 20 of them. But tomorrow is going to be the day that I look around the cars that turn up. Today's just been a mingling day, so I'm going to bring you with me because tonight is where the fun starts, because we're all staying pretty much on site at the hotel. It's going to be a laugh. There's going to be cars everywhere. All the Vipers are staying at my hotel as well. And we're undergoing a photo shoot with some Datsuns. Oh look, it's Adam Seafest! There we go. We've got all of the Petrolheadonism shows, including the best one of the year. We're on the drinks. Chloe's, more importantly, on the vino. Cheers. day 2. I'm parked in a similar place in the Nissan, and behind me we have the hard-up garage Lamborghini Diablo replica. This car used to be owned by Richard Rawlings. It's got an LS V8 in the middle, left-hand drive because it's been imported from America, and apparently the gearbox in this car costs about $26,000. But today my goal is to find as many personalities and ask them the same question. I want to ask them what their guilty pleasure is, what their favourite car is that maybe they shouldn't admit. So mine is the Mark I Renault Twingo. I don't think there's anyone here. There's one that lives near me that I see every now and again, so we need to hunt them down. We've got Tavarish, we've got Richard Rawlings, so many people. Matt Watson was here yesterday. He's not here today, so I missed him unfortunately, but let's see who we can find. So we are backstage because that's where I have found Big Chris, and I'm going to ask the first question of the day, which is, what is your guilty pleasure car-wise?
I would have to say the Citroen 2CV.
2CV.
It's kind of like the car you promised yourself you'd never buy. It drives so good. It's like on elastic suspension. And here's the cool thing. If you're with your lady and you go for a picnic, the seats disconnect and you can take them out and you can sit down and have a little picnic. It's like a proper utility vehicle.
So we now have the main man, Richard Rawlings from the Petrolheadonism live show. He is the guy that everyone's come here to see. I'm going to ask you, what is your guilty pleasure car? What car do you like that you perhaps shouldn't?
I remember being a young boy, and back then you couldn't just sign up on the internet to get a part of a sweepstakes. Some you actually had to tear off the little paper and fill it out and mail it in to try to win a car.
Yeah.
And I was hell-bent that I was going to win this car, and I didn't win. And I filled out like 700 pieces of paper. But it's a Yugo convertible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Remember the Yugo? It was
I do.
cool and compact.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want my friends to see me in it.
No.
But I filled out, I put so much time and effort into trying to win that car. And I think I need to find myself with this.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be lots to say at the Petrolheadonism live show. So thank you once again. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool cars out there. I just saw a Cadillac go by. Maybe I'll go buy it.
Oh yeah. So we had Big Chris, we had Richard Rawlings, we now have Mr. Ratarossa. What is your guilty pleasure, car-wise?
I had to give this a little bit of thought.
Yeah.
See, this is a Routemaster bus. I would love a Routemaster bus. I would love to have it actually a running one, but I'd really like to convert the inside so you can actually...
Yeah, I get that. Do you have the space for a Routemaster bus?
No. I actually saw one. There was one on eBay.
Yeah.
This week, it needed a lot of work, needed repainting. And I'm like, how the hell do you repaint a Routemaster bus?
I mean, you've got the telephone box.
Got the telephone box.
So you just want to have London at home, don't you?
London, I've got a post box as well. So
there we go.
Telephone box, Routemaster bus, Ratarossa.
Well, we're not going to get that answer again. Yeah, watch this space. We'll see. And now, as a bit of a segue, we have ZachsGarage. How's it going? What is your guilty pleasure?
Your mum.
My mum. It's Boris the Micro. Hello. Can I sit in? It's locked. I'm in Boris the Micro. We're going on an adventure. Oh, we're just parking up. So, Jack McNeil, what is your guilty pleasure, car-wise?
Bashing your limiter.
So we've gone from Boris the Micro into a 430 Scuderia. We have James from JM, and I'm going to ask the same question. What is your automotive guilty pleasure?
You know what? I took a little while to think about this. There's a few good options. The Micra, the normal one. I've got one of those. I'm driving around. Do actually quite like that. A lot of American stuff I actually kind of enjoy more than I probably should.
Yeah.
But I think the one that's going to shock most people, Vauxhall Mokka.
I'm speechless.
Yeah.
Why did you like the Vauxhall Mokka?
Okay, because I have recently, for various boring reasons, been driving around my grandmother's 2014 Vauxhall Mokka diesel.
Yeah.
Because it came from that era when she insisted upon having a diesel, despite the fact she only ever drove a mile at a time.
So it's not good for a diesel.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, I want diesel, so couldn't really argue with that. And you know what? Actually, it's one of these cars that, when new, we all rightfully sort of despised because it's basically a Corsa on stilts. So it's got all of the drawbacks of an off-roader, none of the benefits of a little hatch, because it's small inside with, you know, poor centre of gravity, no space in it, etc. But it kind of just works. Nobody expects the Vauxhall Mokka
I didn't expect that.
Like, nobody expects the Vauxhall Mokka. And
I was thinking like an Amiga or something. I thought you were going to say.
No. You know, I'm driving out, and I think it's the British thing in us. You know, we all love an underdog. And you're like, you don't get more underdoggy than a Mokka. Like,
well, I don't think we're going to find one in the show.
No.
But maybe public car park.
Yeah, I've not seen a Mokka around today.
Well, enjoy the show. Good to see you, and thanks for your quirky answer.
Pleasure.
So they were the first first few guilty pleasures of the day. It's probably time to look around, hopefully find some more influencers and personalities and superchargers. And I want you to let me know what your guilty pleasure is in the comments. Tell me, is it a Vauxhall? Is that an Amiga? I think we just mentioned one. And here one is. There's no Mocha. I think it's the predecessor to the Amiga. This is the Senator. There's some cars doing some pops and bangs, and there's even more guilty pleasure cars over here, including some of my guilty pleasure cars. I love a Max Power creation. I think that's a Clio. It's hard to tell because they've really changed the cars, like put the Pringles man on the bonnet of the Golf with Lambo doors. We call him Gerald, by the way. His name's Gerald now. The Pringles man called Gerald is all around the Golf. And one of the influencers who I need to track down is Shmee150. And what a lot of you might not know is Tim and I have known each other for many years. Back when I used to hunt supercars in London, back when Tim used to hunt supercars in London, I've even been in the 675 LT into London. I think I even saw his V8 Vantage at Wilson House. We have the Hurricane STO, a spec that I actually like. It's like a rhubarb and custard. We also have the flagships, the Senna, the SF90, the Ford GT, and the GT8. There's the Lotus, very high-vis colour. Some might say Brave, being the final edition, and then we have the two Black Series next door to each other. We also have Helen Stanley's BMW Z3. I was actually going to buy a car just like this colour. This is a factory BMW colour, purely because I had a Hot Wheels Z3 in the same spec. Further up we have Matt Armstrong's Liberty Walk Gran Turismo next to a Liberty Walk 458 Spider, the Liberty Walk Supra, the Liberty Walk McLaren, and the also finesse Liberty Walk S15. But I've just got myself some tar and glue remover from Also Finesse because I park under a tree. So there's tree sap onto the 350Z. I tried White Spirit on the way here, but now I've got the proper product to do that. We're at the Sporting Bears Dream Ride section. There was a yellow Cobra here earlier, but I've now found Matt Armstrong in his Gran Turismo.
Hi.
What is your automotive guilty pleasure?
I would say Volkswagen Lupos.
Oh, why do you like the Lupo and not there's the Seat version as well?
There's the Seat version, but it's got some disgusting rear lights on the back.
I suppose.
Volkswagen Lupo, had one, it was my second car.
Yeah.
They're just small, easy to work on, they look cool. It does the job. Oh, wait. And the Lupo Sport, it's got a centre exhaust.
That's nice. Yeah, I do like that. Well, are you heading off now?
I have.
Have you had a good time?
It was great.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to spend time with you, and safe travels home. Thanks for your answer. Thank you. There he goes, Matt Armstrong in the Liberty Walk Gran Turismo. But it's a fantastic idea having the Sporting Bears at all these events that I go to. You can make donations to children's charities. So I've decided to pick one of the cars. I think you can guess which one I chose. It's like a combination of the two cars I've bought. It's yellow like the Nissan, and then it's obviously a Cobra replica. This one has a Rover V8, which I think sound incredible. So we're going to do a short lap around the surrounding area, and I'm going to experience a Cobra that isn't misfiring. So where my Cobra is a Dax-Tejera, this is an early Pilgrim kit. It's got the Range Rover's Rover V8, 4.6 litres, about 280 horsepower. It used to be a Granada underneath, but it's more than just that, as I'm sure you can tell. It's all about the experience. Oh, my TVR had a Rover V8, I missed that sound. You get a real sense for the speed because you're so open. This is why I love these cars, and this is why everyone should love a Cobra. It's just the best. It brings a smile to your face. That's what cars are about, bringing joy and happiness. And that's what the Sporting Bears are about. But that was the ride. We've got the safety cone guiding us back in. I think the Stig's arrived somewhere. What's he doing? Oh, look, the dog matches. He's got his yellow coat on. But it's got to that awkward time of day when a few cars have started to depart a little bit early. This GTR started making some noise. I think he's getting ready to leave. We're getting revolutions from the two-tone GTR. We just found another section. There's a few modified cars around here, and we just, both Chloe and I, she's now joined me, we just went, oh, we found a modified Citroen Zara Picasso? Is that how it's pronounced? Did your mum have one of these? Is this what your mum had? Yeah.
In this colour.
Oh my, this guy, it's been smoothed at the front. It's sat really low on some like baby moon wheels. Oh, now that deserves a plug. Look at that. That is the car. Oh, look at the Citroen badge is the other way round. That's one of the cars of the show for me. It's a bit high at the front. It must be hydraulic suspension. I think it's safe to say that this is my guilty pleasure of the show because there's no Twingos here. I love it. There's also a modified Honda E. It's about time we started seeing these get modified. Wide arched with 69 on the bonnet. Is that a bonnet? You could call it a bonnet. I suppose it's a bonnet. Oh, and take a look at this section. It is the year of the 300ZX, and we have a modified example next to a Sora. This is a T-top.
Adam C.
That's not me. That's not my car. This is a Mazda with an RB. Oh, the heart rate got sideways slightly. Quattro skids. I like a quattro skid. Yay, quattro skids. Oh my. Oh, we got some adventures! Well, I'm backstage once again. That's where all the big names hang out. We've got you and Thomas, MBE. I said I'd say it.
Okay.
So tell me, what is your guilty pleasure?
Right, so it's not my fault.
Yeah.
I was once, this sounds very blasé, but I was once sponsored by a local Ford garage, and they said we're going to give you a new car if you have my name on the side. I went, all right, what is it?
Yeah.
And it was a Ford Probe, if you remember the Probe.
Yes,
it was not a good-looking car.
No, it was meant to replace the Capri, and it was a flop.
It was a flop,
Yeah.
but I actually didn't mind it.
So my grandpa has one. His is red, and he used to put Ferrari badges on it and pretend it was a Ferrari. So I love the Ford Probe as well.
Ford Probe, my guilty pleasure.
There we go. Very well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. But the next celebrity guest at Petrolheadonism Live that I'm going to ask the question is Milo. So tell me, Milo, what is your guilty pleasure? Oh, stage fright. But remaining backstage, we have Helen Stanley ready to provide your guilty pleasure. So, surprise the world.
My guilty pleasure is the PT Cruiser.
Oh. Well, we've had a lot today, but I think that's up there with the Vauxhall Mocha. They're the two. Why do you like the PT Cruiser?
Do you know what? I had one when I went to Florida and just drove it around, and I just thought I was the coolest.
Yeah.
And I just, they're awful, but they're so good.
I like how retro they've become and
Yes.
how modified they can get, but fair enough. It was always going to pop up a PT Cruiser. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show. Unfortunately, there weren't any PT Cruisers here, but maybe next year. But whilst awards are being given out, I have found a pair of cars that I just have to look at. We have a Cobra 289. Take a look at the condition of that. And that is next door to a proper pink Cadillac. Now, talk about guilty pleasures. That is my guilty pleasure. I really, really want to get a pink Caddy. So this one is a 59, which is the proper legendary pink Caddy convertible. It's just trying to find a garage with enough space to keep that in. Next to the Cobra, it's massive. Imagine that, two-car garage. I can see myself with that. I believe this to be the American section. We've got the Cadillac Escalade, we've got a cab car, we've got a Mustang, and a Chevy Camaro with 950 brake horsepower due to that blower on top of the, I presume it's a big block. Yes, it's a big block V8. But further around from the Caddy and the Cobra, we've got the Mystery Machine, we've got Del Boy's car, there's Mr. Bean's Mini as well. But here we are backstage once again. That's where everyone hangs out. So we've got Rob Pitts here, and I'm going to ask the same question of your guilty pleasure car. What car do you like that maybe others don't quite agree with?
You know, you gotta think about it. I'm a big Corvette guy.
Yeah.
Every generation Corvette. I got a brand new C8 sitting in my shop right now. But you know what? My guilty pleasure.
Oh, I think I know the one.
I love C4.
You love the C4?
That's like the redheaded stepchild of Corvettes. But for some reason, I don't know. Just got a soft spot in the old pump station.
Yeah. I don't think there were any here today. I think it was just there was a C1, a few others.
There was actually two.
Were there two?
Oh, believe me, I'm gonna spot
I just didn't ignore. I ignored them. That's what. There you go.
Exactly.
You forget them. There we go. Yeah.
But I'm over here like heavy breathing C4.
Oh, well, glad you got to see one because I don't think any of us have found our guilty pleasure car today. But
Yeah, so-
well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show.
I had a blast.
Yeah,
I had a blast.
absolutely. Yeah, back again next year.
We'll see you next time, man.
Thank you very much. But to conclude the day, we have Tavarish, one of the biggest names at the show, one of the biggest YouTubers at the show.
What's up, man?
And we're asking you what your favourite car is that maybe you perhaps shouldn't like, your guilty pleasure car. Any car, doesn't have to be in the show.
So that implies that there are cars that should be guilty pleasures. No, I think that anybody that likes any car, they should just take that and just run with it. Because,
I suppose, yeah.
But if I were to choose one, guilty pleasure would probably be something from in my Pimp My Ride era. So that'd be like Max Power.
Yeah,
for you,
Max Power for us. Pimp My Ride.
Stuff that you have like a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla, and you put 18s or 19s or 20s on it. You put a giant system that's worth more than the car. Stuff like that, because that was how I grew up. And I knew that I could spend all my money on accessories for my car, and didn't actually make my car any faster. Or didn't make it drive any better.
Never does.
But I thought that it would probably make me more attractive to girls, which it didn't.
No, it never does.
No, it never does.
That's why it's a guilty pleasure, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Like I liked it. I don't think I would relive that again. But then again, I do have a Pimp My Ride van in my garage.
Of course you do. Yes. Well, I'm glad you got to enjoy the Max Power cars here.
Oh yeah.
Good to see you, and hopefully see you here next year again.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So I hope you enjoyed that. We've got Sierra about to do a burnout. Not into the wall.
Adam C's here, everybody.
Hello.
He loves this.
So I hope you enjoyed that little twist of a video that I did at Petrolheadonism Live this year, asking various famous and well-known faces what their guilty pleasure is. As I mentioned, write in the comments what your guilty pleasure is. It doesn't even have to be a car from this show, just in general. We've got the Max Power section in front of me. That was Tavarish's guilty pleasure. He loves the Ricers, the Max Power builds, the Pimp My Ride cars. So we're going to spend the rest of the day just chilling out, calming down, maybe having a few drinks or just one. I'm going to drive the 350Z back, which has been spat on by something made of dirt, and the Cobra and the Daytona will be going back via Tech Autos. So I hope you enjoyed that video from Petrolheadonism Live. The Aventadors are revving in the background. They sound so good. I need a V12. I need a V10 first. So go follow me on Instagram for the updates, highlights and photos that I take at these shows. But for now, thanks for watching.